Greetings, ladies and gentlefish, and welcome back to another World of Tanks replay, and this is one of mine. Now, I'm in the M4A3E2. This is the Sherman Jumbo, which these days is a collector's vehicle. And this game is... it's going to be a decent game for me, don't get me wrong, but it's not really about that. This is more about the fact that... so, ever since I came back to the game, back in, September or whenever it was, I, as many of you will be aware, have a little monster. We've got a baby girl, which is a toddler now, which is slightly scary, but never mind. And the point is, I just don't have as much time to play computer games in general, this one included, as I used to. And so that kind of means I have to make the best use of the time that I have available as I can. I think, looking back on it some years ago, I had a habit of just pressing the battle button again, and again, and again. And I was getting better slowly, but I don't think I thought about what I was doing wrong so much, and this is really what this video is about. I am going to make some mistakes in this game, and I would argue there is one mistake in particular that I make that has consequences. And what I've tried to do, as I don't have the time to play this game all that much anymore, what I've tried to do is... ooh, blind shot there, because you never know, it'd be funny if it worked. I've tried to ask myself, especially if I lose or if I die, what could I have done differently in that game? What could I have done better in that game? Why did I die? Can we not do that again? Trying to identify my mistakes and trying not to make them again. And statistically, I've been doing okay, especially given that I didn't really play the game for about a year and wasn't playing it very much for a good 6 to 12 months prior to that. So, yeah, and thus we come to this game. Well, the other thing this is about really is when you get frustrated, what do you do? How are you gonna deal with it? What are you gonna do with people? So, thus we get to this game. Now, this, hello, Mr. T28. I think you've made mistakes, my friend. This is lovely matchmaking for starters. We're in the Sherman Jumbo. For anyone who doesn't know, this thing has quite a nice amount of armour, frontal armour going on. I'm using the 105mm howitzer, and we've got the stock turret. The stock turret has better armour than the fully upgraded turret, the trade-off being that you don't have the view range. So I am blind as a bat. This is very much, thank you Mr. Jumbo, very much a close combat orientated build. Boom. T67 could still be a problem. Now, this doesn't mean I am invulnerable in a game like this. You can clearly see that I'm not. Why are you sat still? That's just never going to end well. But I am quite difficult for the enemy to damage, and so I'm trying to be quite aggressive. This is an encounter game, so I've come over to the cap circle so that we can fight over that, because I don't want to be on the other side of the map and then have to fight my way over here. And are you really going to give me shots into your side? Well, I'm not arguing, I guess. So, that T28 is just plinking away. We're just going to keep that guy tracked there. Still doing damage, but keep him tracked there, and ping, diddy ping, 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 which is nice. Oh, T28 switched to HE now. Let's just take out the P43 bis. And T28 is firing. Oh, he's back to AP. He's bounced some APCR. Now, APCR out of that 57mm gun on the T28 actually has about 180. Ooh, goodbye, Mr. Sherman. About 180 or something penetration. He can definitely deal with me. This tank's frontal armour is about 150 effective on the level. The frontal hull, that is. Blind shot over there. Now, I've got 4 kills, and just poking my nose up here, see what we can find. There's a looks. Never going to be able to chase that guy down, and I'm going to make a mistake pretty soon. So I'm in a relatively slow tank. Ooh, T28 and T67. Now I really want to take these guys out of the equation, if I can, and that guy's jinking. And I'm going to push forward into them in a moment as a result. And part of the reason for doing it is that we've got these guys on the flank, and we're not there yet, but we will get there. And I really want to deal with the guys, well, we are kind of there. Really wanted to deal with those guys to my left, but I've pushed too far forward. I've got myself outflanked. I really wanted to kill the T67 and the T28 before, because the enemy team have won the other flank, before the enemy team could encircle us and just ruin us, basically. Ooh, penetrating HE round. to the front of that T-34. But what I've done, I'm just going to pause this for a second. In doing so, in pushing up there, let's just have a look at the amount of damage I took that I didn't need to. 83 from the T-28, 111 from the T-67. So that's up to, what, 194. That was HE from earlier on. So I take 194, so I take 200 damage there that I didn't need to. I could have been on a 700 health as opposed to 500. And I was never going to catch a T-28 and a T-67. It was just a dumb decision. And I wanted to do it to clear that flank so that I could then turn around and deal with the T-34, the Matilda, or anyone else who tries to outflank us, because our team is going to try and cap, because of course they are. But it wasn't the right decision, and you could argue there's other small mistakes I make in this game, but that, in my opinion, is the big one. And we're going to see how that pans out. So I am 200 hit points down that I did not need to be. But had I continued trying to chase the T-67 and the T-28, I'd have lost even more health. So pulling back when I did was, given the circumstances, I think the right decision. But a better decision would have been to not be in that situation in the first place. That's kind of what I'm getting at. Let's just deal with that T-34. So we're up to 5 kills. Our team has 6 kills in total, in case you hadn't noticed. Like, this is not a very good team. And it'd be so easy to get really frustrated and worked up about this. Now, we could still win this by cap, by the way. Like, this game is not lost yet. But it's definitely going to be challenging. Matilda, can we try and pull a kill on the Matilda? Yes. So, there's kill number 6. There's a Top Gun. T-28 now pops up again. I really wanted these guys to be out of the way, and the Lux has made it into our capture circle, and he's going to be getting resets, and the cap is blocked, and oh, it's the Lux might die for this, but even if he does, he's bought his team time, which is a valuable commodity. So I'm swinging around. Can I deal with the T-28? Aim, pew! Oh, for goodness sake, that's just howitzers for you. And okay, we're not going to cap this out at the moment. The Lux dies, but he's done what he needed to do. Scoreline's 8-10, so we could still win this. There's kill number 7. But our team are determined to drive into that capture circle. And now the enemies who won the other flank are starting to turn up. There's the Largo. There's the KV-1. Ugh, damn it. Okay. Alright. I think it's fairly clear this match is not going to be won by capping. Personally. It's now 9-11. So, I'm going to try and go back and deal with the Largo and the KV and all their friends as best as I can. Unfortunately, we are going to be hemorrhaging tanks because all they've done for the last couple of minutes is sat in the capture circle and tried to win this game by capping, which, as I say, I don't think was ever realistic. Certainly not the way they tried to do it. So, I could go over there and deal with them, but I think more immediately I have to deal with this KV-1. So, pew! Shot into him first. Okay. Oh, he's dealt with our Matilda, sorry, and oh dear, now I get tracked by the T-67. I decide to repair that. T-67 has switched to gold, which makes sense. Shot into the KV-1. I'm going round the side. Really want to put another shot into this KV. Oh, screw that up a little bit. He shoots me. I leave him on 2 hit points, and then the KV-1 actually reloads, kills me by putting gold through my frontal plate. And at this point, there's just the Su-85B left, and you can probably see how this one's going to go. Yeah, it's a loss. Now, the KV-1's 85mm gun hits for 160. If I hadn't lost that 200 hit points earlier on, that shot from the KV-1 wouldn't quite have killed me, and I could have killed him with my next round. Now, you could argue that that penultimate shot should have been heat instead of HE in order to do enough damage to kill the guy. You could argue that was a mistake, and that's fine, but I think the mistake to chase down the T-67 and the T-28 that cost me 200 hit points. I think that was the single biggest mistake I made in this game. Now, I may not have won this game even had I not done that. But that's the one that haunts me and came back to bite me on the butt. Shout out, just by the way, okay, so on here it's going to appear as Sarmet 12, the enemy KV-1, who, by the way, picked up a Radley Walters medal. His name's actually been anonymised, and I did message him after the game and said some people would be really salty about all the gold and everything, but I just congratulated the guy because he did exactly what he should have done. He didn't mess around, he put gold straight through my upper front plate, and yeah, he did what he needed to do. So let's look at the post-game stats. So perhaps unsurprisingly, that was finally my ace in the Sherman Jumbo. Slightly bittersweet there. I finally got the ace. Yay! It was on this. Yay! It is what it is. Also got a mission completed, like one of the campaign missions, which was nice. So Ace Tanker, Bruiser, Fire for Effect, Duelist, Top Gun, High Caliber, and Cool-Headed for bouncing lots of things. I died, so I can't get a Still Wall, even though we did bounce quite a lot of stuff. If we just look at the teams, yeah. So, to be fair, our Su-85B managed about 900 damage. He's bottom tier, he's in a tier 4 and 3 kills, so shout out to him, but where are our tier 6s? Right down at the second from bottom, 0 damage, the Easy 8, oh dear, and where's the other guy? M44, of course, the artillery piece. The big difference there, I get, because neither team did spectacularly well, I don't think, but the enemy team were just a little bit better across the board, and so it really came down to whose top performing players are going to do better. And we put up a good showing, but in the end, the enemy KV-1 shut us down, and hats off to him. Well done to him for managing to do so. 24 shots fired, 15 hits, 4 penetrations. Bearing in mind this was the howitzer, firing HE. 11 splash damage, 2,329 damage done. 34 hits received, 5 penetrated, 27 did not, and some splashes in there as well. 2,190 damage blocked by our armour, 5 enemy vehicles spotted, 8 damaged, 7 destroyed, 1,153 assistance, 1 base defence point, 2.4 kilometres travelled. We still made a very respectable profit there, but high explosive is cheap and cheerful. So 28,000 credit profit even with a standard account, and so 870 base XP plus 477 for heroic resistance, giving us a total of, I can do this, 1,347 was that ace base XP. And we got some extra XP thrown in there for good measure as well. And I did actually, there's one more screenshot I want to throw in here, because I do think sometimes some people forget that at the end of the day this is a game, and if your team loses, it may not necessarily be that your team sucked, because there are 2 teams in this. Do you know what else it could be? It could be that the enemy did well. So, the other thing I've been trying to do since I came back into the game is make a conscious effort. If I think someone's done well on my team or the enemy team, just send them a little message saying, well played. You know, good job. Let's have a little bit of positivity. I know, it's all very wholesome and whatnot. So, I just sent, the guy was anonymised. It actually turned out his name was Limpet. I sent him a message after the game. This is, we had a longer conversation than this, but this is just the first snippet that I took a screenshot of. And, yeah, Limpet, if you're watching, I know I said it at the time, but I'll say it again. Well played, my friend. Well carried. You carried your team slightly harder than I carried mine. Especially impressive considering you were in a tier 5. You were not top tier. So, hats off to you. So, there we go. That's kind of why I wanted to show this game. One, I've been trying to identify my own mistakes, so just to highlight that. And not make those mistakes again, as much as one reasonably can, I suppose. And also, you know, why not just have a little bit of a few good words going around? You know, make the game a slightly nicer place to be. So there we go. That's the video for today. That's the game for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, by all means, feel free to catch some of my other videos. You can subscribe to the channel, you know, all the normal good stuff. And as ever, I wish you very happy hunting on that battlefield. Ciao, ciao.